Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of From the Outer Reaches podcast, a wrestling podcast. I am your host, Daniel, joined by my tag team partners.
Your boy Zach.
And David. We're a tag team or
Oh, tag team.
We're trios.
Oh,
trio? Okay, I was like,
We're shooting for the Lucha Underground trios belts.
okay,
oh, big.
It's always the Lucha Underground day.
gotta start with Lucha, huh?
It always comes back.
Dude, next week, I think for the before Elimination Chamber, we're just gonna watch Lucha Underground. Like, no, David, you need to understand. Hold his eyes open. Listen, Ricochet, dude. Ricochet was beautiful there.
He was beautiful, man.
You talking about Ricochet from Mucha Lucha? Is that what you're talking
Yeah, he was.
He basically was.
Flea!
I love the flea. I love the flea so much. Like I said, that was the voice of Dexter on Dexter's Laboratory. Fun fact. It's called Range. But yeah, so today we are going to be talking about a few things. First thing we're going to talk about is the WWE drama with the women's division. Apparently, there are some female talent who are disgruntled with the way they've been booked. So we'll discuss that and kind of see if we can see where it's going. From there, we are also going to discuss the big shakeup in the WWE universe, which is that the Rock and Cody, they cut a promo together. Will it be the same? We will find out. And how is that going to shake up WrestleMania and things of that nature? And then lastly, we're going to talk about finishers, wrestling finishers, and which one looks like it's the weakest finisher possible. It doesn't have to really belong to a certain wrestler, but just like you look at the move aesthetically and go, okay, don't want if you don't kick out of this, like what are we doing? Kind of rather than the opposite, which is that of every good finisher should put somebody. That's it. That's the anime move that ends the day. So we'll discuss that and kind of go from there. So first order of business is so the women's also I'm gonna talk about AEW's Australia event because that was actually really good. I watched the matches on YouTube. So, but yeah, so first we'll talk about the women's wrestling. So women's wrestling right now, I got this story I came across from one of my socials, and it was saying that the women aren't happy with how the booking has been going for them. I kind of like thought about it, and it really, if you really think about the women's division right now on both ends, it feels like it's Rhea,
Liv,
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte,
Naya,
Nia, and Tiffany.
Been the same people for a long time.
Did they specify exactly who was making these complaints, or was it just a general women in the division?
Just the women in the division.
Okay.
I think the biggest. I'm sure I'm not well versed on the unwritten rules of wrestling, but I feel like when they talk to people, they kind of have to be like, "Hey, don't say anything," just because like the locker room is such a weirdly sacred thing that if you break those rules, you might as well just go jump off the top of the building at that point. But yeah, so I mean, thinking about the way the WWE women's wrestling has been booked, it does feel a little kind of top heavy, and by top heavy, it's like 4 people.
Yeah.
Well, they could also say like with Charlotte Flair coming back and immediately getting a title shot when you've got other people that Charlotte went out for an injury though, right? Or something.
Yeah.
So it's not, but still like, hey, you just get back and you immediately get thrust up when I've been here for how long? And it's like, I haven't even gotten a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, I know, like I said, I like to peruse the internet, to see the darkness, see the shadows in the alleyway. And like a lot of people were mad about the Liv Rhea storyline because it was kind of centered around Dom. When they have been in the past tag team partners, when they were coming up at NXT, they were tag team partners, and that's what I kind of thought it was going. Like she's like, "Oh, like you were my partner, I'm gonna hurt you now." And Liv did kind of touch on that during one of her promos about how like, oh, like a while back I got hurt because Rhea kicked me or something like that, and so this is my revenge. And I think they didn't play enough into that. I think it was more they played more into Dom, which I feel like was great. It was great in its time, but you can tell that they want to continue kind of this Liv Rhea storyline, and they're gonna have to develop the actual connection that they have. Kind of like Sammy and Kevin, right? The reason the Sammy and Kevin feud will probably never get old is because they always they know each other so well. They've been friends since the indie days when Sammy was El Generico.
And they constantly pull back, like they constantly kind of like pull back from previous storylines. Like it all feeds into the new one.
Yeah, and I don't think they've done that for the women so far
Hmm.
in my life, right? Because like, there's no real big storylines happening. There's the who killed Jade Cargill
Yeah, I like that.
storyline.
I think that one's a
Mhm.
lot of fun. And then whatever is happening with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, they're hinting the Wyatt Six are going to come back, David. So
Let's go.
I know you're excited for them. Um, but yeah, I don't know what. So that's like the internet is, the wrestling community online tends to be hot and like, no, it's blood. Take Triple H's head, put it on a pike.
Fire them all.
Kill
It's like Raider fans. They just fire everybody.
him. Every
Start
single one.
over.
Start over. We're 2-2. Season's dead.
But I mean, I don't think it's wrong though. Kind of like we said, it's like how many people have gotten the belt, and I know the men's is kind of like that, but at least it feels. Well, I guess the heavyweights kind of moved around. The big belt isn't
Yeah.
going to move very much, but other belts have moved in the men. So women's, if it has moved, it's just moved between. Oh yeah, okay, it was Naya's, now it's Tiffany's, and
Yeah.
it could go back to Naya. I don't know.
And I will say when a storyline has been stale or when I think a wrestler needs new promos, not just Jay. I think they're doing the same thing with Tiffany with like with so Naya's Gunther
Mhm.
and Tiffany. I need Tiffany to cut. Like you're not my bully anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not scared of you anymore. Yeah,
yeah.
they
She
did.
needs
Yeah.
she needs one of those. I think. And now
Yeah.
it's just been Naya coming. Like Tiffany's just like living her life, and but Naya just comes out and like
True.
flying elbow. But I think there's I think every great wrestler or at least Hall of Fame level wrestler. I think maybe besides Ray. I don't know. Ray never cut
Mhm.
promos, but
Not really. He
uh,
has, but
Was he just like the people's champion, just come running out, and everyone's just like,
yeah.
woohoo?
every 5'8" dude that looked like me was like, yes, we can make it too. That's what he was. But like, I think every major wrestler historically has had that promo that you go, that's do
Yeah,
that
they're the guy. Yeah.
again.
Hmm.
And I think now for the young bloods, it's time for them to do that,
Hmm.
cut that promo. I mean, Macho Man has that cream of the crop. I didn't realize that he was just pulling
He was just pulling those out. Yeah, I love
like
the
a,
cream.
like
The
like a, like a
cream
like a
of
magician.
the grub. The
We're
Ultimate Warrior has the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Sacrifice one.
you know, Tiffany cut great ones against Becky. The
Hmm.
world like, oh, I saved women's wrestling and nobody's giving me a thank you. You're like, okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
that's true. So I think Tiffany needs that big promo for us to go.
Hmm.
Okay, the mic skills make you now a legend along
Yeah.
with the wrestling. My spicy take is I think if you're gonna go pure wrestling, Io Sky is the best female pure wrestler
Oh.
in the division. Yeah, I would take. I think Io Sky is that one champion. Even she doesn't have the wow. She has the
Right.
same issue that luchadors have. They crush it in the ring. The language barrier gets in their way.
Yeah.
But if I were to go pure like who I like, oh, I really like watching them. I always like an EO match. I
But why
think
don't they get like a Paul Heyman type for the women's?
yeah.
Let her speak, but if you've got somebody that can be either the villain or somebody that can like really like be good on the mic and let her just do the wrestling, right?
Have they? The women usually historically don't have
They
managers. They
they
tend to
do
be.
they
They
have.
are the managers.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they have had managers.
And I'm not even saying it has to be a man, it can be,
Yeah, no, it could
whoever.
be
But I just
anybody.
was like, isn't that the point of a manager? It's usually put with somebody that may not be the best on the mic, but like
Hmm.
they have what it takes or they're selling the making the sales or whatever.
Yeah. No, you theoretically, none are instantly springing to mind, honestly. Usually what they do more is they put them in stables, usually in the women's division. So you usually get kind of like a cabal put together in order to fight. You like, but not
Some
usually a manager on the women's side, which I'm
maybe
kind of
now's
thinking
the
is a
time.
little odd now that I'm thinking about it. I'm sure there's been some, but it's just not a very common
Or maybe it's been
occurrence.
talked about, but it just hasn't
Yeah.
developed. I don't think have managers been a thing for, let's say, just wrestling in general for very
hmm
long.
Mhm.
For a very
They
long time,
they
yeah.
call
Really?
them valets.
Valets.
Sometimes. Yeah, that's the lingo.
But
At least
even
that's
like you look at like a Paul Heyman or who's the guy for Undertaker, like those
Paul Bearer.
people.
Paul Bear.
So like I know that they've had maybe people that walk out with them, but were they talking on the mic previously, or is that a new?
Yes.
Okay, that too.
So people like Jim Cornette, they were like the OG managers.
Love Jim.
There it's throughout time. There was there has been managers who would talk um and cut promos and stuff like that. To help with their client. Because like the Undertaker's thing is that he originally wasn't like a
Talker. He's
he
like a
was a dog,
zombie.
he was a
And that's where,
zombie.
yeah,
And Paul Bearer would come out and he talked to that really he'd go, "Oh yes, the Undertaker," and then the Undertaker would come out, which is pretty great. I loved Paul Bearer's really high pitched voice. It was pretty great.
but
Um,
maybe that could be like specific to Io Sky or any of
mhm.
the female wrestlers. It's like there's got to be somebody or something they can do to really, because I thought she was going to be in the Elimination Chamber, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought she'd
that's a
have a WrestleMania
surprising.
shot.
Technically, there was Carmella had this manager named Ellsworth, and he had like no chin, and he was like this little weasel man who was just like supposed to be in love with her, and he just like
He was a simp.
yeah, he was like her Disney villain like henchman person. Like he was gonna
Yes,
try to
boss.
yeah, he was gonna try to steal like the Dalmatians, like that
Yeah.
was
That was
that
because
was him.
I know Mariah May and AEW has she doesn't have a manager, but she has like a butler because her whole gimmick is
hmm
that she's timeless. I will say this really fast. Mariah May has a really fun. Not Mariah May. Tony Storm has a really
Yeah,
fun gimmick. Her whole gimmick is that she's in the modern times. Then she hit her head,
yeah,
and now she thinks that she's like an old vaudeville actress.
that's kind of fun.
So she comes out and talks in like the 1920s. She dresses like a flapper, like that kind of stuff. And so like
Yeah,
when she comes out, they cut the camera goes black and white,
yeah,
and like the old timey music starts playing. It's kind of fun. I like, and she has a butler who comes out like those old like the ticket takers.
yeah. I
That's his
like
like
that.
little
Yeah,
outfit that he comes out in. So like something like that. But I think
yeah.
like that. I don't know. I said Io Sky I think is the top down best in ring wrestler, and I saw Zach's eyebrows go up.
Uh
So
No, I just had to think about it because she is very good. I don't. She just wrestles a very different style than like a Charlotte wrestles or
yeah,
like Rhea wrestles.
because they're the muscle mommies. So
Yeah,
they
That's what I was gonna
wrestle.
say. She's a
they
smaller. She's
wrestle.
almost like
Yeah.
a luchador
Yeah.
hmm
style as compared to like they're kind of like your big man on the men's side.
Yeah. But she's gonna. I mean, Io's always gonna give you some really cool moves, some really cool sequences. She's a good seller. No, I don't think you're wrong. I just had to think about it, but I don't think you're wrong per se. But
Just if we're
But
gonna, yeah.
but
Go
it
ahead.
could be more so in the sense of like how many titles has she had recently? Like she's so
hmm
good, but she's not getting anything, and that kind of proves the point of like, hey, like we've got all these good wrestlers, but it seems like the same people keep keeping the
winning.
belts or winning, and
Yeah.
it's like I
Whereas,
don't
like, yeah, I feel like in the men's it bounces around a lot, and of course, like
Mhm.
you kind of know it'll eventually come back to John, or it'll eventually
Yeah,
come back to Roman, right? But it feels like with the women's, it's like, well, it's gonna bounce between Rhea and
eventually.
Charlotte, and then maybe Becky,
Naya.
yeah, or
Yeah.
Nia.
Well, and I would even go this far as to say I kind of feel like some of the women's storylines just really aren't like they're some of them aren't good,
No, it's
and
No,
true.
it's kind of like that would help a lot. Where it's if people are wanting to watch the storyline, then hopefully that's going to develop and get them to get that push. But
Get
it's
us a little closer.
like I will say like so it's so strange that WWE will do these like very long storylines, right? Like callbacks, like with the Bloodline, right? There's a bunch of callbacks to Rome, like Shield, all that
hmm
stuff,
yeah,
right? And then like, but they don't do like for Seth, like Seth and Finn, right? Seth hurt Finn Balor, he knocked him out, took away his title, right?
Yeah,
In theory, that should be the most natural cause of a rivalry.
they have done that before.
But they didn't dive into it as hard as I
It's
think
true. True.
as because Finn was like, "You cost me 7 years," like,
Yeah.
and Seth was like, "Okay," but like, you would think that Finn would be like, "No, like,
Yeah, no, like that
I've had,
sucks.
I was here, now I am down
yeah,
here.
now I'm dealing with these morons at the Judgment Day,"
Yeah.
like, something like that, and it feels like same thing with like the only people who they really hold on to that like rivalry is Kevin and Sammy, which is fun. I love that. That will always be one
Yeah.
of my favorites.
But it might just
But
be them too. They're very like keyed in on like,
yeah,
no, whenever we're
Mhm.
against each other, this is what we do. We've done it before. This isn't new to
Yeah.
us.
so I think they need to tie into like with Liv and Rhea being tag team partners. I was like, there's a natural, hey, we were teammates.
Hmm.
You got bigger than me,
Yeah.
right? You could have even said
Yeah.
like with Dom could have been a focal point, but you could have been like, you got bigger than me. You got the guy, and now I took your guy to prove to you that you're not
Yeah.
bigger than me, right? That could have
Yeah.
been a good.
Yeah. That
And
would have
and
been
I
good.
kind of felt like before Liv had Dom, she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take everything from Rhea, just like she did for me." And then
Yeah.
it's like, then once she got Dom, then it just turned kind of like into a fight for Dom. Even though
Hmm.
Rhea didn't want him back, but Dom was the centerpiece instead of it still being just the two of them. But Dom was the
Mhm.
chess piece in the back that Liv
Yeah.
had taken.
Yeah, when it should have when from once you get Dom, it goes okay. We were tag team partners. Now we have this natural connection to each other. We wrestled. We were, I don't know if they
Yeah.
were tag team champions together or not, but now we can build off of this true character storyline.
Because Liv
Yeah.
would be like, "I took your belt, I took your man."
Yeah,
Oh, that's good. That's
I'm
a
as
good.
good as you are now.
Yeah.
I mean, and they did that a little bit, but I do agree with the statement that I did feel like Dom kind of started becoming more, and Rhea being angry at Dom, that being the story, that would make sense. So it's like, but I
Hmm.
think it did really shift to a lot of like, Dom's always out there. It's not just Rhea and Liv fighting.
They should have intergender wrestled Rhea and Dom. That would have been a banger.
That would have been. Yeah.
I think that would have crushed. Like no, like we all go like wow, like intergender wrestling, but no, if you do it right, you can you can get women over and make them feel like fucking superheroes.
Yeah.
Like imagine the amount of female fans you would have gotten for Rhea getting the riptide the shit out of Dom. Like fuck you, you piece of shit. This is
Oh,
for
yeah.
everybody.
This is for the people.
This is for the women out there who've been fucked over by a man. Here it is, riptide, boom.
Boom. Yeah.
Oh, just money at that point. Like I don't know. It feels like it. Yeah, it's turned into petty stuff, and that's why I think that the Naomi, Cargill, Bianca, and Liv and stuff. That's the most compelling because it's not based around kind of like the stereotypical women fights,
Yeah.
right? Because in the '90s and like early 2000s, it felt like it was much more like catty
It was a
Yeah. It
different
was.
time.
It was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Wasn't
not like
great.
no and not like no, these are people who have motivations and dreams and
Yeah.
things of
They're
interest.
not just pulling each other's hair, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know what this is for, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where at least it's good that they've matched the belts. It's like, hey, the men have
Mhm.
all these belts, the women have like they've got the same belts.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, and I don't know, I've been thinking this for a while, and that's why I brought up the writing. It's like I hope that the writing gets a little bit better,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and maybe they're just trying to figure out, and it I don't know, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta, and I know you gotta figure out the people, but I think the writing for WWE has proven that like if you give us time, if you give the story time to breathe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there will be a payoff. It may not be now, it might be 2-3 years from now, but
We can pay it off. Yeah.
we can. I think Cody's story should have right
Hmm.
because him losing at 39. God, I can't imagine what the Twitter was. I didn't think I went on Twitter at that time, but good
Oh, it was.
lord,
Oh, it was bad.
take Triple H's head, bring back Vince.
Vince.
But yeah, I do think there is a little bit lacking. Like Chelsea, like I like God bless Chelsea. She knows her role. She's in it. She knows that she's in there
Yeah.
to get 10
Even on
points
social
tonight.
media, like she's doing
Yeah.
her stuff.
But it'd be cool for her to get like a more dynamic storyline.
Yeah. Something a little bit
Yeah.
more.
But
And
it's the
stuff
same
like
thing.
that.
I will state because she's got the American belt
Yeah.
that sometimes happens on the men's too.
Mhm.
Like
No, yeah,
I,
no,
I feel like some of those lower belts they do. There's moments where it's kind of just whatever, and then other times where it's like, oh, this is a big thing that's going on.
Yeah.
I
I think-
mean,
Yeah. I think just writing it all is really hard because you have to constantly. You have to have constant storylines just
Interwoven,
go, and because
yeah.
there's no like off season, there's no like
Mhm.
you just kind of go, and you just have all these people, and I feel like every once in a while there's just like a person or a belt or something that just
It doesn't
like-
get any love,
doesn't get any love.
well,
and I think some of it just
Shinsuke.
depends on who owns the belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and if they're set like that's where again they for sure have got to be looking at numbers in terms
Mhm.
of popularity, and it's like, oh, okay, so this they're going up the charts. They've got this
Yeah.
belt, so we need to put time into making sure that we continue that. So people keep buying because we can make new merchandise of
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Shinsuke he's the American champ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shinsuke.
like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where in the world is Shinsuke Nakamura is the real
He's
question. 'cause
hiding away
He
with that
just-
belt, dog.
Hops out and just beats up LA Knight and then
Yeah.
runs away.
like Gollum after he killed Smallum or whatever his buddy's name was in the third.
Small him.
What was his name? It was like Deagle. Deagle
It's
and
I think
Deagle.
it's Deagle, yeah.
After he killed Deagle, he went into the mines. That's
I
what
like
Shinsuke did.
small him, dude.
He went out, the title is mine, and just ran away with it.
Smeagol and Deagle, the OG tag team. What fell apart.
Triple H is like, I can't reach Shinsuke. What the fuck?
Fuck.
He won't answer. No. But I definitely think because there's definitely some lower talent that's coming, or like like we have Roxanne Perez, you
Mhm.
have like Lash Legend and NXT, and
I
then
think the talent's there.
just write a story, just
Yeah.
get a giant. I would sound like those dudes who sell those classes on Instagram. Get a giant whiteboard and just start writing thoughts.
Well, and you think about it, I kind of thought this when Jade came in. I thought she was going to be, since it seemed like she was so popular when she first came in, that like, okay, she's going to get a title shot.
And she
Probably.
really hasn't, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I know that there was whispers on the like people were whispering that she wasn't keeping up with how they kind of wrestle, so to speak.
Mhm.
Like she looked a little slow. And again, when I hear the shit on AEW, but I think there is like they're not used to kind of being on all the time in AEW,
Yeah.
so that like so for her to come to WWE and she's on all the time, like you have to constantly be practicing. You can't just not just sit with your
Practice,
thumb in your ass.
I mean, not everybody at WWE is on all the time.
Not
No,
everybody, but
There's definitely some times where wrestlers are it's like, oh shoot,
oh yeah,
I'm supposed to be here, not there. My bad.
Yeah,
I was supposed to catch you. Ugh.
Yeah.
Naya's a little bit like that sometimes.
There was who was it? There was a tag team where they had just tagged and they threw the person and the person was supposed to be in the ring was starting to get out because they thought but no, they had tagged in and so they like quickly went back in and pinned.
That's funny.
That sounds especially.
I think that was like a few weeks ago. I was just like, that's hilarious.
Oh, oops. But yeah, I think there's a lot of talent that should be pushed, and I mean, we can talk about it, but they're not. Triple H isn't gonna go, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're right.
And that's where at the end of the day, it's like if people are interested in the story. So like again, I look at like Chelsea and I don't know how the WWE works with social media, but she's posting stuff like she's kind of making her own content, I would assume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if other wrestlers are. I just have seen Chelsea stuff because it pops up and I see it. So
I mean, this was keeping Drew in it. I really think Drew's social media presence has kept him consistent. Obviously, he's a great talent, right? Top 15 wrestler.
Great on the mic too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's just like, oh, I can just be a troll online now.
Fine, and it helps because it's all in character. Yeah.
So I think Chelsea is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea understands the game that is wrestling,
and she's in character online. She's like saying, "Hey, as the U.S. champion, like I've made this day, whatever." And
which is fun. Yeah,
and she gets it. And I think a lot of other wrestlers need to kind of do that too, and realize.
And they might be. I don't know. They just might not be in my algorithm.
I mean, like Rhea knows what she's doing. She posted. She posted there. Easy there, Zach.
She's not in my algorithm. So
no, she.
Well, you need to fix that.
She knows what she's doing,
but she's already kind of big, though. That's what I mean.
She is, but it's the ability to keep her at, and she does. She posts she'll post her in like a workout bra and like at the gym. Like it's not,
And a million men cried out.
And then she'll remind
all
everybody.
The comments are just mommy. That's all it is.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Oh, the Buddy Murphy, that son of a bitch.
They should have brought Buddy in for a segment.
Oh, that would have been so funny. I feel like he'd get booed more than Dominic.
Is that her actual
That's her actual husband.
who
Does
is
he?
he's in
I was gonna say
AEW.
he's AEW. Okay.
Mhm. He actually wrestled at the Australian event, the Grand
Did he
Oh,
Slam.
win?
He did, and then he fucked up his ankle
oh,
on like a dive or a cat he caught, and then you just see his ankle. And then
I wonder if Rhea was there for it because it's
I
in
think so.
Australia.
yeah.
Somebody said yeah that she was there. She was backstage. I'm better than all of you.
Oh, just watching the man blood is like he's not worth it anymore. He's broken.
Like Jesse, if a Toy Story, you got to throw him over the
You
side of
gotta
the
throw him
bed,
away.
leave him under the bed.
You're gonna date Brand the Broken.
Wheelie wheelie no feely.
Jesus.
Um, okay, so like I said, I think we're just kind of discussing. Well, there's no real, just I guess trust them, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's hard with the talent. It's always hard to see the vision, right? Because I feel like they don't tell them what's going on,
yeah,
and then that day they're like, oh, by the way,
yeah. No, it's hard, but I think we'll just see what happens. We'll see if maybe these complaints kind of like feed into maybe some of the storylines changing and just getting some
sure.
more actual storylines going for
Wrestling.
them. So I think that would be the best outcome.
Speaking of storylines, thank you, Zach, for that transition. The big one, the big storyline, the big kerfuffle. My God, the online wrestling community. Holy God, you would have thought they were at the end of their Game of Thrones books, and it was not to their liking. On
Or the
Friday.
show, but
Oh, or the show.
Yeah,
The show will cause problems, but these books, the
but that
day
wasn't
they,
agreed upon by
that
everybody
was a
that it was
good.
not good.
yeah, the day these books after all this waiting. But so the big storyline, The Rock shows up on SmackDown, cuts a bunch of people's like matches in half. Is what I'm hearing. I don't.
Mhm.
That's the problem with wrestling, right? It's very like
Yeah,
whispers.
I don't know.
Yeah, wrestling has always done a good job of that secrecy
Mhm.
of like, well, I don't know what's real or what's not, or WWE has at least. Uh, has come out. He acknowledged that him and Cody are friends because everybody was mad about them having drinks together,
Yeah,
and gave him a proposition. Gave him the big proposition, which is I want you to be my champion, be
be
my
my minion.
yeah, be my minion, be my goblin, and fight for me. And Cody has on Elimination Chamber to answer. He has a week.
I think I'm gonna say first of all, I like it.
I do too.
I like it. And I think this sets up. We've been talking about the Cody heel turn. And I think this gives us a clear path because it could be like The Rock is trying to corrupt him, being like, I'm your only, he's doing like a worm tongue kind of a thing. I'm your only friend.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, like, I'm the only one looking out for you. Everyone's trying to betray you. Someone's gonna do something. And he's like, I have no friends left, but The Rock. And then Cody will, because that even gives him a way to turn face again when he eventually turns on The
On the
Rock.
Rock. Yeah.
So you can turn him heel for a little bit, turn him back face. I think that's I like it just for the record, and I think that's where it's going. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
David, you wanna?
um, I mean, some of the topic he was talking about was a little weird, but
Yes, 100%,
I was kind
100%.
of like, Rock, I thought you were kind of good on the mic. This just, I don't know, either way.
No,
But
I agree with you. I agree.
I think having him, because he popped out, what pay-per-view was
God,
it? Was it
one
on
of
Raw? Was it the end of Raw that he popped out?
he
No,
popped
he
up
was there on
on.
Raw.
He did the. It was the first Netflix Raw was when he was. It was the
He
last
was
time I
on the
think we
mic,
saw
but there
him.
was another time he just stood there at the end.
Oh, it was the when. Oh, what was it? It
Shoot.
was the middle. It's the middle PLE because it was when Cody and Roman were tag team,
Mhm.
and he just
Either
like,
way.
well, yeah,
But like
yeah, we watched that together.
he
Okay,
popped
yeah,
back and then it's like nothing happened for a while and then he was
Yeah.
there on Raw. But I don't mind it. I think storyline wise, I know we've talked about it here that making Cody turn heel. I was kind of along Zach's lines.
Mhm.
I could see Cody maybe he loses the belt and then it's like again, kind of like you said, Rock's just kind of in his ear, and then
Right.
that's going to be the people are against me, so it's like I have to join with the Rock, and he's going to help
Mhm.
me get my championship back, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And then that's where it's like businessman Rock is just there manipulating Cody.
I like that.
and that would set up a John Cena thing because John Cena and The Rock have a history of being rivals,
Yes,
and now The Rock has become the Mr. McMahon of
Yeah,
which I like.
I think the storyline itself is good.
Mhm.
Like I think we all in agreement. The lead up to it was strange. I think The Rock.
Yeah.
So I
I feel
I
like they
get
should have had him out more. Like this just
yeah.
kind of just all of a sudden it's like, oh, The Rock, I guess now owns W. And you're like, what?
It definitely feels, and I imagine, right. It's like the how do I describe it? I feel like The Rock is milking that he has all this actual power in WWE, right? Because he like came out and saying like when the Saints come marching in, which
Okay.
sure, and they got mad. Everybody sang along, and I was like, okay, well, we need to pick a lane here, dog. Like, what are
Yeah.
we? And I get it. He's trying to be he's showing the evil side, right? Like he's
Yeah.
the good.
He
He's
wants
the
people to hate him.
Hmm.
yeah. It's a classic. The Rock is playing the classic movie where the kids start a band, and there's that one kid that's better, and that evil manager comes and tells him that
Yes.
he's better than everybody else,
Hmm.
and promise. He's like, well, no, like your friends don't think you're better than them, and but you are, and I see it. So come be my minion. Like that's the plot line. If you don't see that plot line,
That's the plot line.
it's what got Freddie in the Bohemian Rhapsody thing. It's what got Elton John in his
Hmm.
biopic, right? Like that's the storyline. But I think the like what the issue David had, right? The lead up to it was just kind of strange.
Yes, it was strange.
It was like this we were like trapped in this madman's,
This is a bad man's mind.
and he's
Yeah.
like, no, you're all gonna listen to me sing.
Well, I just felt like he could have popped out like a few times where just like, oh, The Rock's here and just slowly develop because they had him just appear on a pay-per-view and he's just standing there and then it's like then we see him on Raw and then now we see it just I don't know. I think that you could have
And you,
set some more ground. And I guess they kind of did last year where he was like, "Oh, I'm the boss." And he's yelling at
Hmm.
refs and like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't capitalize on as much as they should have. I 100% agree with that.
I think if the Cody turns though, I think we're gonna see The Rock be abusive towards him
Hmm.
because he made that comment like, "You slapped me,"
Yeah,
and I didn't forget that.
you put your hand on my face, Mama Rhodes.
So yeah, our moms hang out now, even though I threatened to whip her
Yeah.
in front of you, Cody. Um, but I think yeah, I think it's gonna be the classic abusive. Like I think Cody's like that's what you do, right? You have Cody be his champion.
Hmm.
He crushes it for the first 4 or 5 months maybe,
Yeah.
and then he starts to lose, and then you watch The Rock become the evil
Annoying.
manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I?
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, does The Rock start building a roster of like his minions? You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, Cody's the head,
Hmm.
but it's like, oh, I've got a tag team over here. I've got my women's champ. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just
I like that.
depending on, I guess, how it goes or
I
how
like
much The
that
Rock is
too.
actually around. Where it's like it just develops where it's like you get your evil Avengers, and then it's like you get the good ones on the other side. Kevin leading the helm with his,
Oh, that'd be cool.
I
Oh,
like that.
David.
Kevin was right shirt.
WWE's like, look at guys, we have a Kevin was right the whole time.
But it could even be maybe where it's like, I don't think this would happen, but Kevin's then got to join forces with Roman, and
Yeah.
he's, crossing that line that he was mad at Cody for doing, kind of thing.
Writes itself, dog.
Oh, dog, is David on to something here?
I think he is.
I could be
See,
completely wrong. I don't know.
we're gonna go over to David's house, and there's just gonna be like papers on the walls. Like, no, okay, if this happens, I rip this off. Okay, we're missing a
No,
spot here.
If
no, that's
yes,
really
go
good
down
though.
this route. If no, go that way.
That way.
Fuck. No, I think that is good. Yeah, he creates his own like classic McMahon or like Evolution, and just kind of have them run everything, and they get
Yeah,
they
and The
own the
Rock doesn't have to
titles.
wrestle. He just has to be
No.
on the mic, and he just has to be the villain that's
Yeah.
like, the puppet master.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
remind everybody that he runs.
Yeah, and he could be coming in like to Raw and forcing the general manager of Raw, like, oh no, this match is happening. I don't care what you say, like I own you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that
That
could
would be
happen. Where it's
cool.
like it's a belt match, just
Yeah.
because he can.
Just to be evil. I like that. I think
I
that
like that a
opens.
lot too.
I think that opens up a lot of possibilities. And Cody being evil, I think, because who doesn't love a good fall from grace, right?
Yeah.
We love a good hero who falls from grace and comes back up. So I think that can do that for Cody, and then
Right.
because Cody's, I mean, he's 37 ish. which isn't old in wrestling world, but the joints are starting to hurt a little
Hmm.
bit more. It's
Yeah.
his little girl's getting older, so I imagine he's kind of. It has to be in him and Seth and Punk. They kind of have to be like, well,
Mhm.
you know,
Getting old.
Cody Rhodes is 39, by the way.
there you go.
Uh,
I feel like once you hit about 40, 40 is when the wrestlers start to go like, what am I doing?
yeah.
But he's, I'm sure he has his own schedule. He's the guy, so it's not. It's like Roman, right? Roman doesn't. Didn't.
No.
I mean, Roman also has cancer, so
Yeah, but
but he's not held to that. But I think it was good. But yeah, I went on right after it happened, and just Twitter was like, "What's going on? The Rock is stupid."
Just, I don't know. I thought he was gonna be like some demon person when he like points at Cody's and you think it's the belt, but he's like, "Oh no, I want your soul." And I was like, "What is
why?
going on?"
It makes more sense with the build up. It does. Like, okay, I know everybody got weird about like the Lil Wayne music.
Mm,
That was strange.
that was strange.
The singing when the Saints come marching in was weird, and I think he's trying to do both. But like the buildup of him, like hey, we're family, and then
Hmm.
I think it could have. I think it could have been more menacing. I think
Yeah.
they.
But maybe that's the point. Maybe it's going to be like the Rock's got like this split where it's like you got like, oh, Rock's nice to me. It's like an abusive relationship. Oh, he's so
Yeah.
nice to me. But then the other side of him just like
Ugh,
this horrible, like screaming at
man,
the audience, only I get
Okay.
to sing, like stuff like that, where it's just
that's
like showing
Yeah.
it.
that's true. No, that's a good point. Oh, David understands the wrestling,
Oh, he's 100% on it.
but
I can't wait for this all to be wrong. And then people are just like, they don't know what
remind
you're
us that
talking
we're
about.
wrong.
No, but it sounds so good though.
It does. Oh, when we book it yourself, you're like, fuck yeah. I think once elimination chamber has to happen, and then we can finally kind of predict stuff. Because at this
We'll
Yeah,
know
point,
what's
once
going on.
we won't really know till Elimination Chamber is done. Then we'll have a better idea on everything.
yeah, it's like predicting the Super Bowl before preseason. You're just like,
Yeah.
well, I'm throwing shit
Well,
at the wall, and I don't know if it sticks.
Because if we go down this road of okay, Cody loses the belt, does he lose? Does Cena win Chamber, and then Cena gets his
He's
belt
a here.
champion,
if Cena wins Chamber, I'm betting everything on him
beating
beating
Cody,
Cody and Cody turning heel.
and then turning Cody heel, and then who
Yeah,
does Cena then drop the belt back to? Does he
Cody.
drop it back to Cody?
He
Oh
drops it
yeah,
back to Cody.
that's
You
what
don't think he drops it to somebody else?
No, I think he'll drop it back to Cody. But now Cody's like evil.
Do you
This
think he
is-
gets at least one defense against Cody, and then they'll like end of the year, or
They'll
do you
probably give
think?
him they'll probably give him like Randy just for us
Yeah,
to feel good. But then this is what you do. Right last PLE of the year, right? John Cena's a Cody.
Because he's got to win his. I assume he's got to win his last event.
yeah,
He might be a guy where he's willing to lose, but like as a fan, it's like he's got to at least
Yeah.
he could
Yeah.
lose, but in a positive light.
Well, here's my theory of him losing. You do the last PLE, right? December. This is it. Last ride. John has the belt. He's wrestling Cody for the belt. John drops the belt to Cody. John goes, I can't do this anymore. I'm too old.
yeah,
It's time for the new. Like, I tried to save the company
yeah.
from evil Cody, but I just, in the classic anime, like, it's not our fight's done.
Right.
And then he passes it on to ex young
Now
gun.
it's time for you guys.
Yeah.
Here,
he-
Kevin,
he
you
does
fight
the
Cody.
yeah he does the Shanks hat on Luffy head.
Yeah.
John Cena leaves and goes, the fight's yours now. And then that next guy that helps get a young guy over because he chooses him as his like successor in the fight. It builds Cody up as a villain because you send as a heel because you send John away on his loss.
Yeah.
And then you give a kid, whoever the next, maybe Kevin or whatever, and that gets them over. as
Here you
the
go,
face.
Jay. Everybody
Yeah.
loves you, Jay. So you're gonna be the new
You're gonna-
champion.
Oh, I think
That'd go over so well.
Twitter would crack in half. The brainstem would just. That's what I think. I think you give you. I can see John being okay with losing if it furthered the storyline
Yeah, I think so
for
too.
himself.
I can
At the
see
same time, yeah, I think that'd be a way you send him off in a way because it builds Cody as an evil bit like this. I'm
Yeah.
back and I'm evil and I'm this giant. I'm the final villain.
Mhm.
And then you have a young gun who becomes Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
And fights
John's
Darth.
like his Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, John dies to let Luke become the face to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah.
That's my theory. That
I
would
think
be
so
cool.
too. Yeah, I think so too.
CM Punk. You hate the establishment.
You hate this man.
Now then you have like CM Punk be like Han Solo.
That's the story right there.
There it is. Yeah. But I would think that'd be cool. I think The Rock building a faction would be fun. Like his own. I don't know what they'd be called. The Rocket. No, they can't do the
The
Rockettes.
Rocket.
Well, I just don't know because it's all
The rock
dependent
pile.
on how much he wants to be around, right? Like
Yeah.
if he's not going to be around, then
Yeah.
this is just going to be a short storyline that doesn't do much.
Yeah, with evil empires last a long time. You gotta,
Yeah.
and that's always been John's critique of The Rock, right? Was like you didn't stick around long enough.
Yeah.
But
It's just weird.
Because like you look at why Vince was so successful as a villain is because he was around all the time, and so they could
Mhm.
keep that storyline. They could just bring it back and run it for 6 months, and then let it die down a little bit, and then bring it back and run it again.
Absolutely.
I think the $1 million question is: does The Rock have it in him to play the fool the way Vince did?
I don't think to the extent.
Because what made Vince so much fun as a villain, Mr. McMahon as fun as a villain, is that he had these stupid vignettes, right? Like when he got
Hmm.
sent to the hospital, and they're like, "Oh, doctor, you ready?" And it's Stone Cold, and he's
Yeah, he
like,
hits him with the van.
like, like that's what made because McMahon was willing to be evil, right? The
Yeah.
higher power. He was willing to do all this crazy shit, but he was also willing to kind of be like, "No, I'm just the man."
Yeah.
And Stone Cold was
Rock
a,
won't do it. I
I know.
don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna get that from Rocky.
He'll do the menacing part, but he won't do any
The
of that.
fool.
Like
He won't do the goofy.
yeah,
Which is a tragedy because like this is a great one where The Rock does it to Vince, where he's like, "Hey, come here," and he hits him with the trash can lid. And he's, ah!
Yeah.
It drives off. Oh, Rock. It'll be interesting because I do think that mentality has carried over to wrestling. I know a lot of people complain about how he has to have like he has to always be intense and
Yeah.
always be the guy, and like I feel like that's gonna carry over to wrestling. But it'd be nice to come on, man. We don't gotta be angry all the time.
Not all the time.
Be a fool. It's okay to be the fool. Look at our truth.
Yeah.
And he can wrestle as long as he can wrestle well. So transitioning to the across the pond, AEW. I watched the Grand Slam event. I'm pretty sure it's Grand Slam. And I have some thoughts. I do think AEW can. They have very big names
Hmm.
that can, and I will say the Australian crowd was great.
Right.
It was like the France backlash where they're just like singing. And I will give this to AEW, so don't you can put this on the record. AEW's wrestlers have better not better intros, but their intros are much more distinct.
Yeah.
Everybody, so that we watched. So the first match, was Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, which okay
Okay.
on paper, I know David doesn't know, but like I said, I don't know how to describe Kenny and Will. They're like the greatest that never got the WWE
Hmm.
look. They were just they were I don't know they were always like they always were like the example like look you can be big and not be
Yeah.
big,
Not B.
but at the same time you need the WWE push to be John Cena big.
Hmm.
Um, otherwise you're just watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
But so that all of their music sounds in all everybody's and it was like Kyle Fletcher and then Takeshita, who's a
Hmm.
very good wrestler too.
Yeah.
All their music you could like close your eyes and go, "This is a different wrestler. This is a
Right.
different wrestler." And I know that there's been a big issue with WWE with Def Rebel, the guy who does their intro songs.
Hmm.
Everybody hates their shit. Like, I think their contract is gonna end.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna find new people to do the walkout
Intros.
music. Yeah, for WWE. So that was a plus. I'm gonna give that to AEW. Everybody's music insanely different. You knew who was coming out. You knew they had a cool part that you could sing along to. Right? Kenny's sounds like an anime song
Yeah.
or
It does.
like a Final Fantasy fight song. Um, but the thing I think that I know people say that they're developing the stories, but in the ring, there's not a lot of time to breathe. Is what I got from at least from it,
Yeah.
right? There's not a lot of big breathing story moments in the ring, so to speak.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not. What they do is great. Like from a technical standpoint, they are all very I mean, they're probably like it's the greatest wrestlers outside, not in WWE, but they are like it was boom hit. It's spot 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 spot. Everybody claps like cheers, right? They do a
Yeah.
crazy spot, and then it's like okay, no, everybody gets up and does another spot,
Yeah.
but there's no like letting it breathe. There's no because I think we were watching Rumble and somebody was wrestling John, and the crowd got really loud, and I think that you could see that the younger wrestler wanted to go,
Yeah.
and John was like, "Let's
Yeah.
let it breathe. Let the fans build this for us."
Yeah.
And I think there's not a lot of, and I love Will, I love Kenny, but there was that lack of like let's build this.
They always, yeah, it's always really quick to get to the next spot. Not a lot of like selling necessarily.
Yeah,
It is, you're right. It's spot, 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 big spot,
everybody cheers.
cheers, everyone's
Give,
up, spot, spot, spot.
yeah, which in wrestling is tough, and I don't know, and that like I said, for what they do is great.
Yeah.
The finisher was Will Ospreay hitting the his hidden blade, which is he basically hits you with his elbow.
Yeah.
While Kenny does the one wing angel,
Oh shit.
fucking cool.
That would kill you.
Yeah, and that was their finisher, and that was great. But like the buildups were like jump, duh, duh, like here we go, here we go, here we go. There's not a lot of like okay, let me enjoy that last set.
Yeah.
Let it breathe. Let's enjoy the moment. Let the fans like get excited. Let them just go crazy. But from a talent perspective, it was cool. Um, Shout out to John Moxley. He's part of the Death Riders, that which is I think a Warhammer reference for
Yeah.
us Warhammer fans, because
Hmm.
his teammate is Claudio Castiglione, which on paper is kind of a big like tag team. John
Hmm.
Moxley, and the Castiglione came out and he was wearing a Warhammer helmet, like the bottom half of a mask,
Jeez.
and he wears the on his shirts he wears like the little scripture that the Space Marines wear.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is so cool.
He's got a drone that's a floating head behind him
Ah,
too.
that listen, because the Death Riders are Krieg. That's what their
Hmm.
cavalry is called. They're Death Riders. Um, but no, it was great. They did have an issue. They rented a ring from another wrestling promotion, and the ring was smaller.
Oh shit.
It was because I think the average like WWE's is about 20 by 20, and theirs was 16 by 16.
That's
It
that's
looks like
small.
it looks like the Chud ones that we
Yeah.
where they just like they bounce off the thing and they're immediately on the other side. Um, but it was a great matches. Your girl Mercedes Monet wrestled that night. Um, I can't not Fallon. It's not Fallon Henley. I don't remember who it was. But her whole gimmick is that she has created a puppet of Mercedes Monet and she like talks to it.
Hmm.
And so she brought it out during the match and it would like talk and move around and she would like have conversations with it. It's kind of funny. And then the final one was Tony Storm versus Mariah May.
Hmm.
I heard Tony Storm's finishing move is called Stormfront
I
or
like that.
or Storm Zero, one of the two. Either way, both cool
Hmm.
names. But no, I was glad that it did really well, and it's like I said, it's crazy to think that we live in the world where Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega are the openers,
Yeah.
which I
That's
guess
crazy.
yeah, which is a pretty crazy thought. Which I mean, I feel like shows the depth of um what AEW has in terms of the roster,
Hmm.
and I think it's getting there. I know a couple weeks ago we had a conversation about will AEW ever rival WWE, and I don't know if it'll ever get there, but it's definitely doing things right as a good alternative.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that was going to be the pay per view thing because they do. You said that you have to pay for it like a normal pay per view.
And like they do actual like pay-per-view buys, which is kind of crazy.
I didn't see if Max. Well, it wasn't considered a PLE,
No.
so you could have watched it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to be the wave. I think they're going to have to copy that model of just sending it to
You have to, I
like
think.
Hulu or something
Hmm.
for five, yeah, or charging $5 and then you
Yeah.
get access to everything. I think that's gonna be the way it has to go to
I
like
do too.
be financially successful. I think you gotta be on the streaming.
Got to do it.
Speaking of which, WWE has two new shows that are gonna be on streaming sites. LFG, which I think me and David talked a little bit, which is Legends and Future Greats, and
That's
it's
cool.
and it's basically Tough Enough. It's basically Tough Enough.
Yeah.
But the judges are Bubba Ray, Undertaker, um, Booker, and I don't know who the woman was, but I think she's one of the training center people. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll probably pop in and watch that. And then they have one on Tubi. It's shout out to everybody who has Tubi on their TV. It's like, but it's like a indie kind of thing. So like it's
Oh, neat.
like how Cody has the Nightmare Factory
Mhm.
and all those. Like I think Seth has the Black and Gold. So I think it's that to develop those indie wrestlers to be, but they wrestle as like under the WWE brand.
I like that. That's cool.
And Tubi's free, so
Yeah. There
that's
you go.
cool.
I don't know how that works still, but
Tubi or the
Tubi.
I don't either, but sometimes it works, and I'll watch.
That's how I watched a little bit of the Super Bowl. So I was
Yeah,
just
there you
like,
go.
I don't know how this works, but cool.
Here
Well,
we
thank you.
are. And then so now with that, lastly, we hit all of our other points, right? I think we were talking about. So
I think
the
so.
big one, the big finisher, the homework assignment. I texted David and Zach about. I had
Well,
was
did you want to
watching.
talk about the one you wanted me to watch, the finisher, the blue,
Oh,
whatever it
Blue
was?
Thunderbomb. Yeah. So there's the reason. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the weakest finishers of all time, and the
Oh,
reason
gotcha.
why
Sorry.
is, and this ties into why I texted you, David, is because I was watching some YouTube video about wrestling. Oh, I was watching Simon Miller. If you guys ever get the chance, he's a British guy who does he does up down
Mhm.
and he rates and grades wrestling events, and he's cool. He has the persona for it, and he is a wrestler. And he talked about somebody hit a blue thunder bomb, and he's like, oh, and then he's like, and then he cuts to this clip of this indie guy saying that the blue thunder bomb is the weakest finisher in WWE. I don't know if they were being like joking or trying to like generate heat from it, but
I
he
heard
said
that.
that, and so then I texted you guys, and that's when I was like, David, look up the blue thunder bomb, and we're gonna have a conversation about the weakest finishers of all time.
The way Sammy does it is pretty sick.
Because I don't think the blue thunder bomb is the weakest finisher of all time.
No.
But
Oh,
I
there's
saw
way
that.
worse.
But I saw that, and that's how we ended up here, which is
Okay.
what I texted you guys asking about. Hey, like let's like, what do you think is the weakest like finisher of all time? Because that was the Blue Thunder Bomb. Blue Thunder Bomb.
Hmm.
Shout out to POR Wrestling. We watch you, JJ, and we know he tries so hard.
Oh, he almost gets it every time.
Almost, it's almost clean. So just know, JJ, you have two fans here.
We the ones.
We are the oh man, we watch an aggressive amount of POR wrestling. Which if anybody knows, it's like this outdoor backyard wrestling run by
It's
JJ Escobar.
from the murder capital where they murder for capital.
I think we showed David. We showed him where they hit Jamal the Wizard with the car.
And he said, I don't want to play with you guys
Yes.
anymore.
He never
Me or
came.
Jamal?
Jamal never came
Jamal.
back.
I
He
was
came
like,
back
I could
once.
have. I wonder why.
That's the-
They hit him with hook dick. So that's the big question. So let's do that. What is the weakest finisher? Obviously, it's not the Blue Thunder Bomb. I think we're all in agreement on that.
No.
What is the weakest finisher? It doesn't have to be from a specific wrestler, but it can be like the move you look at and you go, no, this should be a kick out. If you end on this, we're all stupid. Kind
Well,
of thoughts.
I found I had to just Google finishers. I don't know. It's a tag one from the. I saw this clip from Authors of Pain. It's called the Super Collider. So the
On paper, it's a cool name.
it sounds cool, but when you see it, so their opponents are on the ground. They both pick them up, so they have them up like in their backs or away from their face, and then they'll like smash their two backs, and
And
then
that's
they'll just throw them on the ground, and then they pinned them.
Theoretically, that could be cool, but I feel like there's such a variance to how that's gonna look. It's just not
yeah.
gonna work out very.
The
That's
clip
cool
I
when
saw
you
did not look good.
concept, but once you go
Mhm.
to do it, you go, oh, this does not work.
Because you can't run so fast. One, you're carrying a 200-pound person, so
Yeah.
you're like you can't just like bum rush. I think if you hit them and then throw them,
Then it
then you like German suplex them or something, like that would be cool. But just like like that's not.
honestly, I think for mine, I was thinking about the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh
The
no,
Warrior Splash Dog, ass fucking move.
is it just the
He
5-star
just
frog slash?
No, it's not even that. He literally just bounces off the walks at you and then jumps up in the air and lands on top of you like a feather, dude. Just
I just posted the video, by the way.
Okay, we get to watch this absolute atrocity.
It's at
To
a
be
minute and 10.
to be fair, Authors of Pain also got cut from WWE, so I guess
Sorry,
that
guys. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
no, that's fine. I mean, it's just funny that you're like, oh, that's ass. I guess they all
it
thought that
is. Yeah,
too.
everyone must have agreed with you.
Um, I think so. I have a guy that I worked with back when I was at Fresno State, and we talked. He was my wrestling buddy until me and Zach really got into wrestling. And he said the Ultimate Warrior one was bad.
Yeah.
He also said the leg drop. He didn't like the leg drop.
The leg drop, the leg drop.
The Hulk Hogan leg drop.
It's just El Clasico at this point.
It depends on
Yeah.
how Hulk Hogan does it. Because back in the day, he would get so much air, right? So he would jump really high, and then so the idea of someone
As his
jumping
spine started
really,
merging,
Yeah.
right?
it got shorter. So if you think about a man jumping really high and dropping his leg on your neck, you're like, okay. But as he got older and older, that move started looking shittier and shittier because he couldn't really like get height. So
you
he would
can't
just
get
kind of like,
up. Once they stopped told him to get off the steroids, it really just kind of ruined his day.
yeah, honestly.
I think there's so many great ones. It's hard to.
I just posted the Warrior Splash in the chat. I don't know why it's so funny to me because it should not be a finishing move.
Okay,
Uh,
so they just showed the Authors of Pain. They showed their other finisher, which is called the Last Chapter. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was fine. How did we get there? What were we
Yeah.
doing? What was the thought process? But yeah, no, that was.
I'm also gonna say I might get heat for this.
I mean, it's wrestling, baby.
The attitude adjustment.
No, you're gonna say that AA's bad?
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it only works for a finisher for John Cena.
Isn't the
That's
attitude
valid, though.
just a Death Valley driver?
It's not even a Death Valley driver. It's just a fireman carry.
Well, then he like throws you off. So
He like throws you off, but
so
like
that's
A Death Valley driver is when you like almost like power bomb that or not power bomb, but tombstone them, but like on the back.
I thought a Death Valley driver. What's the one? They do it all the time. They like fireman carry and then they do the roll.
But it's a little. Hold on.
Because everybody does that in like indies. That's
Yeah.
Death Valley driver. I'm like, okay, everybody hits Death Valley driver.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Death Valley driver.
But no, I agree. I think Johnson because
It's not bad. It's iconic. It's
but
just
you see it and immediately think, oh, this is John Cena. This is
yeah, like if anyone else other than John Cena was to do that, you would go, "Oh, it's a transitionary move into like something else." But because it's John Cena, I still get hyped for it. I'm not gonna lie, but
that's my hot take. Oh, the attitude adjustment is just a Death Valley driver. He just doesn't follow you all the way down with it. He just kind of
that's true. Yeah.
it's like yeah, he just took out the I'm gonna slam you into it to just
Which I think
Wait.
that move, the way John does it, that's called like a fireman carry or like a fireman drop. That's
Yeah.
what that variation
Okay.
of it is. But
oh man, you guys have had such good ones. I think I agree with the leg drop though. No, I'm gonna do the sit down thing.
yeah.
That seat that like Nia Jax does.
Oh
sits
yeah,
on
you don't
you.
like when people just sit on you?
Well, it's
They're dump truck, dude.
because it's not something you have. It has to be weak to be safe, right?
Yeah.
If you go full speed, you cave in somebody's chest.
Sure.
Right, like
Yeah.
listen, Nia Jax isn't a small lady. If she does it, if she goes off the top rope and doesn't like slow her momentum, that a rib will crack.
Yeah.
A rib's gonna stab your lungs.
See, so like, so I think that sit down is I don't know what it's called. It's just you sit on somebody.
Yeah. Like a bug.
You win. That's what you do.
Like it worked for like Yokozuna, but Yokozuna also died at like 30 because he was 600 pounds. So it's like the only way to sell it is to be really big.
Yeah.
But that also means you probably can't do like you're gonna die.
I'm gonna just it's a conundrum.
So
You
that's
see
bad.
me doing it, and you're like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'm kicking
Somebody's
out of
gonna go,
this.
"Hey, can you get off me, please? Thank
I
you."
mean, you could do it, like you do it, and then like you gorilla press you, and then you
Yeah.
turn it into this cool moment. But that's about yeah. Like if you did it to me, I'd be like, get
Okay.
off.
Go-
I kick out at half. I don't even kick out at one. I kick out at half.
uh.
But but let us know in the comments what your least favorite finisher is. What is the finisher you see if somebody hit and you go, okay, well this shouldn't cause a kick out. On the flip side, okay, no, we've done the negative. Let's do the positive. What's your favorite finisher? Do we have a favorite finisher outside? So when I say okay, let me clarify because you can say because John has the 5 moves of doom, so it has to be you have to say the fireman carry. You can't do the
Yeah.
whole sequence.
It
It
would
has
it'd
to
have
be
to be
the
the
move. Yeah.
it's really basic, but I love the RKO.
The RKO has so much, listen what the kids say, so much aura behind it.
It does.
And it's such a versatile finisher. You literally can do it
Anywhere.
anywhere, anytime, any place, baby.
It's
And
pretty great. And it's so iconic. Like the RKO out of nowhere memes. Oh, they're so good.
I remember for me a big goal when we got into wrestling because Randy was out. I was like, I
Yeah.
just want to see a live RKO.
Yeah.
And and it's pretty great to watch live.
Oh, and it just randomly happens. You're like, yes.
Does everybody feel the world shift back in the
Like,
balance? Because I did. Ugh. I'm gonna go with super kick. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Haluva kick.
Haluva. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I was trying to think of like moves that I really like. I think Crossroads is overrated.
yes.
I think it's an overrated finisher. I hate that finisher because he has to do it 40 times.
Yeah.
Um. Oh man.
I can give you one.
Give me one, David.
Rey Mysterio 619.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Oh
But
yeah.
would that
it's
be a finisher, or is that just one of his move
It's a
sets?
finisher.
Is it a finisher? I don't
he
know
has
because I
he
don't. He's not wrestling as much as he used to, but I've seen
It's a
clips and
finisher.
it looks
Yeah.
really cool.
it's
Yeah, the 619 is like a baller, dude.
it's great. It's definitely one of the most unprotected
Hmm.
619s. Like everybody kicks out of it.
But it's so good.
But like
Yeah,
you see it and you're like, man, that one's just
Yeah.
so good.
it
Oh, it's
is.
so good.
No,
Although when Penta first came on, his like in the ring where he was like head to head with the person, but his feet were up and came down. That was
Yeah.
oh,
really cool too.
his
That was
little
cool.
like knee kick. I'm sad that the arm break move isn't the finisher
That should be the
because
finisher.
that was a finisher for him in Lucha Underground. Because he would like play it up. He'd be like, "This is for you, my Dark Master,"
Those are,
yeah, and then he would do it. And it's a testament to the wrestlers because you have to make that look like that thing just
rips your arm off.
easy believe it. Oh man, oh, see off the top, I don't know if I can see because I don't want to say Stone Cold Stunner.
Uh,
That's
but it is.
It's a
it's
classic.
it's a classic for a reason. I'm trying to
It's
think
like a
of
leg drop.
that's true. Oh, David's learning.
The F5 is really good.
Oh, F5. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think that'd probably be my pick.
You,
F5.
you don't want to do a GTS
Go to sleep.
Claymore,
Claymore.
Claymore's great.
They're all solid.
or you could do oh, I can't think of his name. The guy from Judgment Day that just lost to Seth.
Oh,
Oh, the coup de grace.
His one where he jumps on the person.
oh,
Yeah.
I hate. Yeah,
Yeah.
his coup de grace.
Every time I watch him, like,
I
oh
hate
my
it.
god, that
I
hurts.
I hate that stomp move. I think stomp anything where you're jumping on people unprotected makes me uncomfortable from a wrestling standpoint because I just go, this can go so bad.
Oh, so bad. No,
Um,
I think the F5 is really sick.
I think F5 is great for the women. I'm gonna say I think Oblivion. First off, great name.
Yeah.
Second off, she's gotten a lot better at it. Her
Yes.
Oblivion looks sweet.
Who is this?
Liv
Liv
Morgan's.
Morgan.
So it's OB and then Liv and then Ian. And that's how they spell it out. Oblivion is good. I think what makes a good finisher too, have to have a good name,
Hmm.
and it can be the same move. It just if the name is great, it'll carry that it's the same move.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're like on the rope. She grabs him and like
Yeah,
throws him
and
back.
it's almost
Okay.
like a DDT
Hmm.
off of it, like a Sister Abigail, but not. Batista bomb.
Batista bomb, classic.
That's a I remember that. I love a good Batista bomb. Oblivion's great. Um, I'm trying to think of like I can't think of a lot of people's fucking finishers for some reason. Phenomenal forearm. South Clash. South Clash is a classic.
Yeah. The pedigree.
Oh yeah, pedigree. Pedigree is a strange one for me. I have a mixed relationship with that one because I like it, but Seth like sometimes he'll hit it right and sometimes he won't.
Triple H's looked much better.
Yeah, Sethies is not where the business is at.
No.
His pedigree is not very good. Um, I think his stomp's much better.
Yes, I agree.
Um, I think Braun Breaker's spear better than all the other spears that are in WWE right now.
Yes, I agree.
Even over Roman?
Oh yeah,
Just
because
asking.
no. I'm just saying like yeah, because like when they do it, Roman kind of comes up and Braun.
But Braun's also got like a
Yeah.
big football background where he's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
Well, so does Roman. Roman was a D tackle in college.
Oh, was he really?
I
Yeah.
had no idea. But
Yeah.
he's been out of the football game for a while. Braun's, what, a few
Oh,
years out.
You
So
can
it's
find
like,
it. You can find his college highlights.
Oh,
well, no,
was-
I'm
he
more
was a
stating
fullback.
that like,
Oh, yeah.
Roman's,
No, Roman's been.
Roman's
a
got
long
some years
time.
under his belt where he's probably been like, I don't need to like, but Braun's just,
Him and Jay do. It's like they hit, but they kind of just like leap, jump, like hop at you, and they catch
Yeah.
you.
like Braun's like this.
Yeah, Braun just he pushes through the tackle. It's a farm tackle every time.
Oh yeah, no, he's hitting you to death. It's not it's not pretty. It's not fun for the whole family there. But yeah, I actually no, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say Braun Breaker Spear is my favorite, just because he hits it, and both from a selling standpoint and from probably a physical point of view. You're like, no, I'm not getting up.
Oh, they're dead. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's my pick. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Braun Breaker Spear.
Agree with that.
Solid.
All good picks. All right, well, the bell is rung. The match is over. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on this episode of From the Outer Reaches podcast. Please let us know in the comments who your least favorite and your favorite finisher. Tell us what finishers hit that make you believe and which ones hit and make you go, no, don't tap. Kick out, please. Thank you again for my trio's teammates, Zach and David, for joining us today. And if for the rest of you watching at home, please follow us on all of our social medias. We are on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook as well as not Twitter, but we're going to be on Good Pods, is a Good Reads a podcast. We're also and while you're there, please check out mine and Zach's other podcast, Lori Time Podcast, where we talk about all the nerdy things you love and enjoy and explain it to you, so you don't have to go and read that book, watch that movie, or play that video game. David has been on a couple episodes. David was on for our Halo episode.
Mhm.
But again, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Watch more wrestling.
Have a good night.
Watch it all.